73% of queer teens say they are more honest online than they are in their everyday lives. My name is Nick, and over this semester, I studied the impacts of online communities on the mental health of queer teens. My message is that online communities provide a space for queer teens to be open and honest about themselves and receive support from others like them. It can be difficult to find people who support you in your everyday lives. You can't always know who will be accepting and who will still support you. The effects go far beyond the content creators themselves. And a lot of the effects that I discuss here are on the viewer specifically. One of the major ones is supportive online friends. You can find people who have similar interests to you and similar experiences, people who you know will support you. Another one is positive role models. You can find people who you relate to and who you believe to have good morals and good judgment. You can follow in their footsteps and do things that you deem just by their standards. Another major impact is using communities to benefit others. You can do streams where you donate to charities and you collect money to then send to people in need. One major example is a stream in which a streamer named Ranboo streamed for 11 hours and collected over $100,000 for the charity The Trevor Project, which sends aid to queer teens who are struggling with depression and suicidal thoughts. Another major benefit is accessibility to support, like tip lines and hotlines for depression and suicide, especially those run by the Trevor Project. The last one is community-specific tags that can help you locate people who you relate to. You can find these on just about any subject: language, country, background, disabilities, communities within the LGBTQ community, all sorts of things like that. I interviewed an expert named Dr. Kate Murphy, who was actually our old school psychologist here at Bell. She has a master's degree in mental health counseling and a doctorate in counseling and school psychology. She's a member of the LGBTQ+ community herself and runs a podcast in which her and her partner discuss the topics relating to it, and it's called the Q Academy, and it's a fascinating listen. So I interviewed her, and I asked what she believed to be the negative aspects of online communities. And she said that with social media, it's a lot harder to avoid cyberbullying. You can block them, but they can create new accounts and come back. And I completely agree, this is a major issue, because you can't avoid it like you can in real life. You can't just turn a blind eye. But when asked if this negated the benefits, she said there's always going to be people who want to spread hate, but that shouldn't stop us from using our voices. I couldn't agree more. I think that the best thing that we can do in that situation is continue to be ourselves and support others. My personal streaming journey. I streamed for around 20 hours in total, with 16 hours of setup, and I have 46 unique viewers over the entire time. This was far more setup than I expected, because it seems pretty simple. You just press a button and talk. But there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, a lot of setup, a lot of planning. The visible benefits that I saw personally were personal growth within myself. I improved in public speaking, my flexibility. It's very difficult to make a concrete schedule for this because it's kind of just whenever I'm free. And time management. I had to allot time so that I could reach my goal at the end of the semester, which proved very difficult with a bunch of other things going on. Also, I saw how my friends reacted to it. A lot of them said that it provided entertainment and comfort as well as support. They enjoyed watching my streams and could kind of de-stress for a little bit. This affected me too. It was therapeutic in a way. And I had a stable creative outlet and a fun hobby, as well as learning from others. Streaming is not one-sided. There's a chat that I would constantly look to for advice or just conversation in general. And you learn a lot when you talk to people with vastly differing backgrounds, and they knew far more than I did in a lot of subjects. So it's very interesting to look at that and kind of see where they come from and see what they have to share. Another quote from Dr. Kate Murphy that I found really moving is adolescence as a whole can be very isolating, and being part of a minority group makes that even harder. I completely agree, and that's exactly what this whole project is about. My personal experience and inspiration, I had a lot of inspiration for this project. A few of my friends personally stream, and I always enjoyed watching them and participating in theirs. I've always been interested in entertaining others. That's something that I've known from a very young age. And many of my closest friends have been positively impacted by streamers, whether they find comfort or safety or community. But most importantly was my own impact. During my freshman year, everything kind of shut down and we went into quarantine. And I was new to Bell. I didn't really get contacts for a lot of my friends from here, so I kind of completely dropped all contact with them. So I was definitely looking for ways to connect, and a major one was watching streams. It brought comfort and community, and I could really feel a connection. And personally, that was just really moving to me, and I wanted to pass that on to others who may be in need of that too. Overall, my whole experience led back to online communities, specifically those centered around content creators and streamers, provide safe spaces for queer teens to express their true selves in a world where it can be very difficult to do so safely. Thank you for watching. Are there any questions? Okay.